Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Randy Turkin, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm really glad you're here. Today, we are going to talk about choosing calm in a loud world. And I had planned on talking about something else, but this past week has felt really heavy. And so I kind of wanted to address that because if you've been on the internet or on social media or watching the news or simply not hiding under a rock and paying attention to the energy around you, then you have probably felt this heaviness too. Things feel loud and tense and oppressive, and fear and panic and reaction are moving quickly through the collective, through our collective consciousness. And many people are living in a constant state of alarm. And I want to be very clear about something before we go any further. This is not a political post. I am not here to dissect policies or take sides or even share my opinions. What I want to talk about is the energy in the air, because whether we acknowledge it or not, everything begins there. Everything is frequency. And when fear and anger and grief and anxiety dominate the collective field, our bodies respond. Our nervous systems get overloaded, people get sick, our sleep gets disrupted, emotions spike, and we move into survival mode. And I can't participate in that anymore. And so while I don't really consider this a tough conversation, I consider it a truth conversation. I do want to go ahead and pull us an empowerment card just so that we can use it as a guide to talk through what we're going to talk through tonight. And so I have a yellow candle lit right now. In many pagan traditions, yellow is the primary color of the element air. And we could all use some air and space to breathe right now, right? So, yellow also is representative of communication, writing, and social interaction. It contains the power of the sun, which is joy and vitality, and optimism. So I thought it was a good color for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick a card to guide us through this conversation. This is the one. Blossom. This card says, "My past does not limit me. I am the flower that grows from my roots, stretching toward sunlight." Ha! Yellow candle, sunlight. In the light, I blossom. I love that. That's a great card for this combo. So, all right. I'm not participating in a lot of the discourse that's happening online right now because about a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with a chronic connective tissue disorder. It's a progressive condition with no cure. And one of the many aspects of managing my health is keeping my nervous system regulated and my stress levels as low as possible. So this diagnosis changed everything for me. There was a time when I participated heavily in online discourse. From 2016 to 2020, it was part of my work and part of my identity. I believed that constant engagement was necessary, that staying activated meant staying informed and involved and impactful. But what it actually meant, now that I can look back on it, is that my body never felt safe. Living in a constant state of reaction and outrage and vigilance comes at a big cost. My body paid that cost. So now my priority is different. My number one job is to protect my nervous system. And that doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I lack empathy. It doesn't mean I'm unaware of the very real suffering happening in the world. But it does mean that I refuse to drown in it. So lately, I have been visualizing myself sitting in a soft, cushioned chair, protected and grounded and safe inside a bubble. And inside this bubble, I rise up. And from there, from this different perspective, I can look down and see what's happening from a wider, more objective perspective. So from that view, I can see the pushing and the pulling on both sides of things. I can see one side reacting, the other reacting back, and the endless commentary and outrage cycles and cruelty turning into entertainment and people losing their grounding and the noise. And I can also see something else. A lot of what we're witnessing right now is the collapse of old systems that cannot continue as they are. I'm talking about the patriarchy, my friends. These are structures that have thrived on fear and control and hierarchy and disconnection, and all of them are being destabilized right now, and they're not going to die quietly. And this doesn't mean that, what's happening isn't painful or frightening. It is. There are atrocities being carried out against specific populations, and there is grief, injustice, and real harm. But staying submerged in rage and fear and vitriol does not heal that harm, it multiplies it. And I came across something on Facebook. I think it was yesterday. I saved it as a screenshot because I really loved what it says. It was so simple. I'm going to share it with you here. Fear is not a stop sign, it's a direction. Fear isn't a stop sign, it's a direction. And you can follow fear straight into panic and exhaustion, or you can use it as information and choose a higher response. Because, and I don't know who said this first, but my coach has said it, but then I've seen it elsewhere too. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And how true is that? What you consistently feed is what grows in your personal reality. And don't you want to blossom? If your nervous system is bathed all day in anger and hatred and doom, then your body believes that you are under constant threat. And over time, that state becomes unsustainable. So know this, you don't have to solve everything today. You just have to be here in this moment right now. So ask yourself, am I safe in this moment? Do I have what I need right now? Most of the time, the answer is yes. So choosing a higher frequency, and it is a choice, it's an act of service. Choosing calm doesn't mean bypassing reality, it means responding instead of reacting. And, anger can be valid and fear can be understandable, but those emotions are meant to move, not to lodge themselves in your body indefinitely. That's your, if you feel that in your body and you are not transmuting it, then it sticks to your cells and it makes you sick. So if you feel anger, transmute it. Help someone, listen deeply, offer kindness, volunteer, go to the secret neighborhood meeting, create something beautiful, rest, ground, send love where you can't physically go. Because being a couch keyboard warrior is not the answer. I know because I've done it. And I know that it feels good in the moment. It's like it gives you that quick dopamine hit, and getting likes is a thrill, and going viral might be a thrill. And getting people on your side, like, yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But none of that rarely leads to like meaningful change. It often deepens nervous system dysregulation. Love, kindness, and presence are not passive. You're not just sitting there. It's a choice, right? And it's a powerful choice. So if you want the highest timeline, love is the path, not posting an old man in diapers. That's not it, guys. The vitriol is coming from both sides. Please stop participating in it. Your body holds everything. And one of the most overlooked aspects of nervous system regulation is the lymphatic system. And this is something I have to manage on a daily basis. And when I say manage on a daily basis, I mean I have to spend 2 to 3 hours a day loving on my lymphatic system. Unlike the cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system does not have a pump. It relies on movement and breath and sound and intention. And when lymphatic flow is stagnant, everything feels stuck emotionally, energetically, and physically. And I guarantee you, if you were sitting there being a couch keyboard warrior, then your lymphatic system is stagnant. So let's get things moving. Because if you're feeling trapped or heavy or hopeless or frozen, those emotions aren't just thoughts, they're stored experiences in the body. And that is why movement matters and why singing matters and crying and dancing and why breathing deeply matters. Energy has to move, it needs to move. So, just as we have tools to improve lymphatic flow using our hands and our breath and our intention, we also have tools to improve other forms of flow in our lives, like cash flow, creative flow, emotional flow, but nothing flows well through a system that doesn't feel safe. And by the way, besides all of the political storms happening right now, there's also something larger happening. We are having a lot of solar flares and geomagnetic storms and earthquakes and intense earth activity. All of that is increasing. So whether you interpret that scientifically or energetically or spiritually, the message is the same. The earth is not separate from us. She is moving, she is clearing, and she is recalibrating too. This isn't just about what humanity is doing wrong and these things and these times we're going through. It's about transformation and awakening and revelation and systems being exposed because they can no longer operate in the shadows. So energy is real even when you can't see it, and it is strong. And that's why grounding is essential right now, with your feet on the earth and the breath in the body and your eyes lifted beyond the chaos. Look up, y'all. So, yes, this moment in time is uncomfortable. There's no sugarcoating that, but it's not meaningless. And you don't have to carry the weight of the world alone. And you don't have to stay activated to be aware. And you don't have to live in fear to be responsible. You are allowed to choose lightness. Think of yourself as like a balloon. You want to be that balloon that rises, rises, rises. The collective needs you to do that. You're allowed to choose calm. You're allowed to protect your nervous system. Sometimes the most radical thing you can do is regulate and stay present and refuse to add more fear into the field. So you don't have to solve everything today. You just have to be here. And from that place, everything changes. So I am going to record my morning ritual that I do every single morning to stimulate and regulate my nervous system and get my lymphatic system flowing. It's just an 8-minute thing that I do every single morning. I usually take about 12-ish minutes to myself. When I first wake up, before I wake my son up, I'll get up, I'll go pee, get a big old sip of water, and then I will do this little 8-minute thing to soft music, and then I will make my bed. And that is such a great practice for me every single morning to start my day present and in flow. And so I'm going to share it with you here. Have a listen, do it along with me. And next week, I'm going to move into cash flow. And cash flow is what I was going to talk about this week, but I did decide that this was a conversation that I wanted to touch on first, because when regulation comes first, strategy becomes clearer. So enjoy the lymphatic flow practice, and I'll see you next week.
Sit comfortably on the edge of your bed or your couch or somewhere where you have a little bit of space, and begin by gently taking your pointer and middle finger and kind of massaging right above your collarbone. This is one of your big 6 lymphatic drainage points. And then you're going to take your 2 fingers and make the peace sign and rub in front of your ear and behind your ear up and down a few times. And then you're going to lift one arm and gently squeeze right underneath your arm on one side, and then you'll repeat the exact same thing on the other side. Gentle squeezes. We're not doing super crazy massage work here. Now you're going to take your fingers and press into your belly down the center line, starting from the midpoint all the way down to your lower belly, your lower abdomen. Don't forget to breathe through all of this. And now you're going to touch your groin area in the same fashion that you did above your collarbones. Just want to get those hip flexor areas touched and moving some of that fluid. Now the last of these 6 will be behind your knees. Just gently squeeze and shake the tissue. And now all 6 have been opened and are ready for drainage. So now with hardly any pressure at all, you're gently moving your hands up toward the heart. You're basically moving that fluid up toward the groin area that you just opened up, first up to the knee, then to the groin, and then you'll do that on the other leg as well. So just watch the screen if you're confused about where I'm going with this, but simply brush with a very light touch, stroking upwards toward that groin area so that your fluid can drain out of your body, or at least start moving in that direction. Now you want to take your hands and bring the fluid to the front, toward your stomach, so get it out of the back area. And then you're going to want to take the upper area of your side and rub that up to the under the shoulders. And now you're going to start at the wrist and work your way up toward the armpit. Long strokes, very gentle, soft, not too deep. Your lymphatic fluid is right under your skin, so you don't have to do much. Ladies, especially those of us with breasts, you definitely want to make sure you're scooping the fluid from under your breast toward the armpit that is on that side. And the upper breast, the same thing. Take it to that armpit that's on that side. And then just do a gentle stroke from your chin down your neck, and make sure you get from the back of the neck and bring that forward. And then you're going to open up that collarbone area one last time, because that is where all of that is going to eventually end up and drain out of your body. Now that we have our lymphatic drainage points open and we have moved some of that fluid, we're going to go ahead and just do some very light stretching. So we'll do up and down for 3 times. Don't crunch your neck on the way back. We are not doing this super hard here. This isn't just an easy morning routine. Then we'll look right to left and we will tilt our heads. So 3 times right to left. Again, very gentle. We'll do half circles, 3 in each direction. This is just opening up the back of the neck and beginning to open up the traps. And now we're going to raise one arm up, and we're gonna go up and over and lean over to one side for a nice side body stretch, and coming back up, and then we'll lift the other arm and go the other way. And we're gonna do that again, only this time instead of coming right back up, we're gonna circle to our midway point and roll up down the center, or up the center, and the same thing the other direction. And for this last set here, we're gonna circle all the way around to the other side, stretch and come up, and then simply reverse, up and over and all the way around over the knees to the other side and back up. And now for some shoulder rolls, 3 to the back and then 3 to the front. Get that full range of motion there, opening up the chest and the upper back. And now we're just going to fold forward and push gently up off of your seated position Take 3 deep breaths while you're there, keeping your knees slightly bent for a nice forward fold stretch. And then you will begin gentle figure 8 motions with your pelvis. So this, or you can sway while you're down here. This is just another gentle active stretch that is going to open up the back body. And from this point, you want to start tapping your calves and your ankles and your feet and your knees and your thighs and behind your thighs and your hamstrings and your hips and all the way up. Tap your belly, tap your sides, shake your butt, tap, 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 tap your arms. Just trying to wake everything up, getting that blood and lymph flowing some more. And from here, go ahead and shake everything. You want to shake your hands, your feet. You want to bounce a little bit, kind of dance around, shake your shoulders, get your head involved. Just shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, vibrate, get everything going. And from here, with your legs slightly separated, you're just going to sway side to side. And you can let your arms swing. And when that back arm comes around, go ahead and let it tap your back, like next to your kidneys. From here, you're going to take a deep breath in, raising your arms up, and roll down into a forward fold and come halfway up and roll back down and roll all the way back up. And now bring your hands to prayer position and bring them down to your root chakra, where we say, I have a strong foundation, and bring them up to your sacrum. I am passionate, I am sensual, I am fire. And up to your solar plexus. I'm confident, my light spreads everywhere. And up to your heart, I am love, I am loved, I choose love. And up to your throat chakra, I communicate with kindness and compassion. And up to your third eye, I am intuitive, I let my intuition guide me. And up to your crown chakra, I am connected to Source always. And now open your arms wide in a receiving position, palms up, chest open, heart open, and take 3 deep breaths. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 8. Thank you for joining me today.